Eric Hubers asks, does shelf appear factor into any of your game purchases, or do you stick to only games you plan on playing? For example, say you stumble across a bunch of mediocre or outright awful NES cartridge games that you don't have in your collection, but they're priced pretty dirt cheap. Do you buy them up thinking that expanding your NES collection will look more awesome on display? Good question, right?
It is a good question. I think for me, I have an entire NES library for US,
right?
But if I didn't, I would have picked it up even if I didn't play it, just because, well, I may want to trade this down the road or add to my collection.
Yeah.
The other thing is I like to archive games. Like one day I'd like to have my game collection in a museum, showcasing all the games that came out for a particular time.
Interesting. You know, boy, this is a tough one for me as well. I'm not really going for a complete anything in my collection, but, you know, I'm not just looking for good games either, because I find that some of the funkier games can be the most fun. I mean, we've done an entire series of I Hate You episodes where we torture each other with really bad games. And if they're really cheap, I don't mind taking a risk, you know.
The other thing too is even if you don't want to play the game or don't think you're going to play the game, you may know that somebody would like that. You can buy it for trade. Then use that game to trade for what you want to game.
That's a really good point, especially when games are getting hard to find, is that you know, trading has become a really big thing. A lot of the PC games that I have back there have come from trades, because I am in a different part of the country and I stumble across a different game and vice versa. And so it's always good to have trade bait, not just like say in forums, but also at expos. When you go to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo or Cowlitz that you run, there are people who bring boxes of duplicates or games that they want to trade.
Just want to trade, and I've had people ask, hey, can I bring this in and just go around to vendors and trade? Absolutely.
The other thing for me too is that it's been really interesting with my YouTube channel, because I often will do like side videos or other things, like maybe I'll cover like all the racing games for a particular system or something like that, and it sucks when I don't have that one game, right? And so
I have all the games but that one, and it's like, oh, I wish I had that.
And I think the key to your question was cheap, right? And now I don't take chances with games that are really expensive, especially if they suck. Again, I'm not going for a complete collection. You have done that in the past where you've had to put down the money for that last couple games, and it's not necessarily your favorite, right?
Or a game I'll probably never play. I may test it, but I pretty much am having it for historical purposes, saying I have this game in my collection because it completes the set, and I want to showcase every game that system had.
And another thing I just thought about too was games that are complete in box. Those are becoming, at least in my experience, really hard to find. And so sometimes if I find a game that is complete in box and it's not necessarily rare or expensive, but it's complete in the box and it looks beautiful, yeah, I'll probably pick it up, because again, the times that you're running into those is becoming less frequent.
Absolutely.
So great question. This question was asked by one of my Patreon contributors who also helps support my YouTube channel and videos. I want to thank you very much. In addition to being able to ask me questions like this in a private message board, you also get early access to all of my videos and some other really cool perks. If you're interested in checking it out, please go to patreon.com/MetalJesusRocks.